Hi guys, so here is the sewing tutorial of the two-piece we cut in one of our previous videos. So if you missed out on how to cut a trouser and a shirt, please make sure you click on the link in the description box and watch the video for better understanding. I'll be starting off with my front piece, right side facing right side. So I'm going to be joining it together like so, and I'll start sewing from that very point that your zipper flap stops all the way to the crotch points. After joining it together, this is what you're going to have, something like this. So you're going to open it up, and then you're going to be fixing your zip. So you fold one part of the zipper flap inward. Precisely, you're going to be folding the left side of your zipper flap. So you get your zip and just put it under the flap, just underneath it, as you can see me do here, and arrange it to be on a straight line. And you just go ahead and sew it from the top all the way to the bottom. Now this is what you're going to have after sewing it on a straight line, just like this. Just watch exactly how I'm doing it. Now you take the right hand side of the flap and then you place it slightly on top of the already sewn side, okay? And then you hold it with one hand and flip over to the back of the trouser. So I'll just go ahead and run it all the way down on the zip, and then this is what I have just on a straight line. So by the time you open it up to the front part, this is what you're going to have in such a way that your flap is covering the zip teeth, like you can see right now. So the next thing you want to do is from that very top, you're going to sew all the way, as you can see my hand, and then try to make a curve into your zipper line. So this is what you're going to be having after doing that curve. You can see my flap is covering the zipper teeth. So this is how your zipper is going to look like. And when you flip to the back, this is what it should look like. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and fix our pockets. Now right side facing right side, this is how you're going to position it. You will make it equal at the waistline and also at the hip line. Everything is supposed to be equal, and then you just go ahead and mark your line so that you know where you're sewing from. So I'm going to be sewing all the way slanted from my 7 inches all the way to my 2 inches at the waistline, and this is how it is after sewing it. So you go ahead and cut out the allowance, and then you're going to top stitch, open it up, and then you top stitch on the pocket, not on the trouser, and then this is it. So the next thing we want to do is to fold up our pockets. Guys, please watch me carefully while I'm folding it up. I may not explain it very well, so just go ahead and see the way I folded the pockets. So guys, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the 2 inches allowance that you initially removed as excess, you're going to replace it back. So here is me doing it again. I want to repeat what I just did. So I think you would understand better by just watching me do the practical than explaining it. So this is how I folded it. It's going to be in a slanted form so that your hands can actually slide in, and I'm doing it again for the third time. So by doing this, you are replacing that allowance that you cut out, so it's like putting it back again. Okay, I do hope you understand what I just did. So now you're going to go to the machine and just sew it on top all the way from the top, just a little bit stitch like so, just to hold it down, and then you flip over to the back again, and then you want to close up this entrance where your hand will be coming out from. So you're just going to close and stop at this very point, so that by the time you put your hand, it's not going to be falling out from this side. So I'm done with the first pocket, and here is the second pocket. So you just repeat the same thing that you did in the first one. You sew the slanted 2 by 7, you cut out allowance, flip to the other side and top stitch on the pockets, and then you do your pocket folding. Just repeat the same thing as the first side, and you're done with the pockets. So here it is. This is what it will look like at the end of the day. This is our pocket neatly sewn. So guys, the next thing I want to do now is to join the back side of the trouser to the front. So now right side facing right side, join them together and make sure that it is equal at the side. And then you're going to notice that the back is longer than the front, just like you can see right here. The back is actually longer than the front, but you don't need to worry. Remember, when we were cutting, we made the waist of the back to be a bit higher than the front, so it's okay to have such allowances. So you take the second piece and also align it on top of the front, and make sure they are both equal at the hip area. So you're going to sew using half inch. Just follow my description. You're going to be sewing half inch from the side all the way through the hips and down to the leg region. So this is how you're going to be sewing it until you get to the down parts of the trouser. So I'll go ahead and do this on my machine, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So you're going to be having something like this. I've joined all four pieces together. As you can see, this trouser is in four pieces now, two front and two back. So just fold them up together, and you're going to have the zipper at one side and the back flap facing each other at the other side. You can see this is your back flap. So now guys, from this back, we're going to be doing our waists and our hips shaping all from the back. So now it is into two. You're going to divide your waist by two. Whatever you have, you just use a chalk or a marker, whatever you're using, to mark it right there. And then you want to get your hip line so that you will know where to take your hips. I'm using about 8 inches for my hip line. On that 8 inches, I'm going to be taking my hips measurements divided by 4. So while sewing, you're going to come all the way from your waist down to the hips and just curve it into the crotch points. So now I am done doing all that, and my crotch points is all sewn. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join them together, the front and the back crotch. Make sure they are aligning equally together. Use a pin to secure it so that it doesn't move. And then you want to start taking measurements from the down. I divided my round boot measurements by 2, and I got 8 inches actually, but I wanted this trouser to be a bit wide, so I'm using 9 inches. So you're going to sew all the way from the down up until you get to the crotch points. Now when you get to this particular point, you're going to divide your lap measurements by 2 and stop there, and then you go over to the second leg as well, and you're taking the same measurements you did as the first leg. So use the same measurement for the boots, the same measurement for the knee, and same measurements. Make sure the two legs are actually equal, and then you will meet at the same points. So here we go guys, this is it after joining the two legs together. The next thing we want to do is to fix our band, and that is the last thing for the trouser. So cut off this excess zipper because you're not going to be needing it, and this is our band already cut out. 2.5 inches is what I have on fold. So you want to take the band, and then right side of the band facing the wrong side of the trouser. Okay, I don't know if you got that. You want to start sewing the right side of the band facing the wrong side of the trouser. So you're going to be stitching with half inch. Okay, stitch with half inch all the way from the beginning round to the end of the waist, meaning from one zipper end to the other zipper end. Now the next thing is to open up your band like so. You're going to have something like this. Now you're going to fold the other edge of the band inward by half an inch, just like you see me do right now. Just watch the way I'm going to be folding the end of the band. So I want to fold and then turn it to the other side, and I'll just sew like so. You can sew close to the zipper and you can sew half inch away from the zipper. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again. Now what I'm trying to do is to close the edge of the band because you don't want it open. Now fold in by half an inch and just turn it backward to the other side to make it equal. Okay, and then you will just go ahead and sew it on a straight line just close to the zipper like so. Do the same thing for the other edge of your band. After doing that, I'll notch the edges and I'll turn them inside out. The next thing to do is to fold in again by half an inch, just like you see me do right now. Use a pin to secure your folds so that it's going to be very easy for you to sew. Now, after doing that, you're going to sew from one end of the zipper all the way down to the other end of the zipper. And then at the end, you're going to fix your trouser hook. And that is all for the trouser. So let's go to the top. Now I'm going to be working with the front piece. Now this is the middle of my front piece. It has two sides and I'm using a very soft gum stay to fold in the button allowance. So I'm doing this for both sides, this one side and the other side as well. So I'll just go ahead and pipe it in using the allowance that I left while cutting it. So this is it. Just go to your machine and close up the button allowance for both sides. This is what I have, and I also did the same folding for the down part as well. And for the back, I also folded the down into two. So just go ahead and fold up all your edges together. And after doing all of this, the next thing I'm going to do, you take one piece of your front and then place it on the back, shoulder to shoulder. Make sure the shoulder is equal because that's the first thing you want to close. Alright, so go ahead and arrange the two pieces of the front right on the back and then you go to your machine and close your shoulder up. And I've just done that for my shoulder. I have closed up my shoulder and I'm going to top stitch it. This is actually optional. You can actually leave your own the way it is. So, but I just want to top stitch so that I can have this line at the front of my shoulder. So here is what the outcome looks like. Now you're going to be having a longer piece on the back. Remember how we did the cutting? The back is longer than the front. So this is the allowance that you have right there. You can see my allowance at the back. So the next thing I want to do is to just drag your front and then to meet with your back. When you drag the front to meet with your back, you will notice this round neck has aligned itself. Now you want to confirm the length of your shirts and make sure that the shoulder is also equal. If it's not equal, you want to do all your shaping at this point. Now the next thing is to take your measurements for your chest or your bust measurements divided by 2 and you just mark it right there. Just go ahead and close up your shirts and then you come down a little bit to the waistline. Take your waistline divided by 2 and then whatever your measurement gives you, just mark it underneath the bust. And then you want to come to the down parts of your shirts and then I'm going to be coming up by 5 inches and that is going to be my side opening. Okay, and then I'll just confirm my armhole curve. I'm using 12 inches for this side and also 12 inches for the other side, just in case you'll be putting your sleeve, you know the allowance to leave. Now guys, you can see this line at this point. That is not going to be your shoulder, so you just go ahead and notch your new shoulder. So this is going to guide you while fixing your sleeve. So now let's move over to the sleeve. You're going to fold in your allowance. Take this to your machine and just run it all the way down. Now the next thing is to fix up our sleeve. Open up your shirt and then you're going to be fixing it from using this notch as your guide. I'm going to be joining this notched part together. Notch the middle of your sleeve and also the middle of your shoulder, which I've just done. So just watch how I am doing it. I'm going to be fixing from one end to the other end. So do that for the second sleeve as well, and this is what I have. Now use the round measurements of your shirt neck to cut your collar, which we already did in our previous video. So you can go ahead and check on our previous video to see how we cut the collar. Now for this collar and the collar stand, I'm going to be cutting double of it. This is just one piece right here. I'll be cutting double of it and also cutting a soft gum stay for it. So just watch me and see how I'm going to do this. I've gone ahead to cut out the gum stay and have ironed. I'm going to be ironing it to it. Now I have also cut double of the collar, and then I'll just go ahead and sew all the way around it, leaving the down parts open. Notch it and then you turn it inside out. Now this is the collar. Fold this into two to get the middle and just go ahead and notch it. Also, you're going to notch the middle of your collar stand. The part that doesn't have the gum stay, you're going to be putting it under, you're going to be placing it under your collar, just like you see me do right now. And the part that has the gum stay, notch the middle part as well, and you're going to be placing it right on top of your collar. So which means that your collar is going to be in between the collar stand. Okay, so this is what you're going to have after arranging it. Now the part that has the gum stay, you want to fold it half inch inward, or not up to half inch. So while folding it in, you either use a pin to hold it down, or you use a very hot iron to press it down just to have a steady stitch. So now this is how it is going to look like, and after doing this, now you're going to be sewing from this very angle, curve it all the way straight to the other end. Just watch the way I am illustrating it right now. Just sew it straight all the way to the other end. So at this point, be sure that your collar and your neckline are equal. So you want to start middle to middle. So use a pin to hold it down middle to middle, and then you're going to be sewing all the way down. So after sewing it, you have something like this, and the last thing to do is to pin down the side that you folded in, and then sew straight all the way to the other end. So guys, here is our finished work. Our two-piece is very ready. If you have a question, please drop it in the comment section, and do not leave this video without subscribing to my channel. If you learned one or two from this video as well, give us a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.